Be right back. Stay tuned on ACN TV. We will be right back. Stay tuned.
So una good evening for all una. We sorry, we'll be getting a small technical thing. So una good evening for all una. This evening, a good evening for all the Ambazonian people. Them, the weekend will be the one of the most happiest weekend for the history of the Ambazonian people, for our whole existence for this world. This weekend it will be the best day for our whole life. The life for our big papa them, the life for our big mommy them, our forefathers, their life. Yes, this weekend we just passed. It will be the best weekend. Wait, another weekend when I go change the story for the Ambazonian people them. So all my I can't find. Make a first of all salute all our picking them. With the day with their papa them and their mommy them. With the watch with this evening. A salute on all una. And for all my the watch this evening. Today this evening we'll come this evening now for what we talk about two things. We'll talk about the stabilization force. And then we'll talk about the thank you. Then we'll go end up with the question and answer, where people they will call in for express their own happiness, for express their own joy. How happy they be when they see the new force with Dr. Ayabat don't create them for the Ambazonian people them. When they see the new ADF special forces, how you be feel? How your heart be oversweet? When I go call into, when I express people them for ground zero, when I watch them for television, and how when I have be oversweet. So when I they call in, make we start. I want to start by, first of all, I want to thank the leader of our war of independence, Dr. Abacho, for the confidence we he don't show him for me for work for the office as the executive press secretary for Governing Council of Ambazonia, for the trust we he get him for me, and for the belief we he get him for me, for say this time for our war of independence. I get the knowledge, I get the skill, I get the character, I get the integrity for represent the hope, the wishes, the dreams of the Ambazonian people them. And for be able for communicate them both to the Ambazonian people them and to the international community about what people that want them, about what people that they fight for, about what people they don't go through. Also for a trust for me, for say I understand the fight for ground, which was soldiers that they go through, which that they fight for, how they get for fight, which get for be the code of conduct, which they need them, and for be able for mobilize the Ambazonian people them, both for ground zero and for diaspora, for say all we come together collectively for make sure say we'll give ground zero, we'll give the forces them, which they need them, for not only for protect our people them, but now for also defend our community and for make sure say the independence where they be already declare them, they restore them, and then they reaffirm them, that independent, we defend them with everything we'll get them as a people. So I want to thank Dr. Abacho. I want to thank the Vice President of for Governing Council of Ambazonia, Dr. Nyi. I want to thank the Secretary General for Ambazonia Governing Council, Comrade Obadia. And I want to thank all the people them for Ambazonia Governing Council for their trust where they get and for me for represent this finest organization for our history. I thank you plenty. I want also thank the Ambazonian people for the trust where they get them for this leadership and for the trust where they get them for the office for the press secretary for Governing Council of Ambazonia. I want to thank them for their continuous support. I want to thank them for the hard work we already do them together. I want to thank the Ambazonian people plenty. And above all, I want also thank our soldier them because now the leadership, the population, and the soldier them, all them, they contribute for make this appointment, my reappointment as the press secretary for Governing Council. They give me a vote of confidence. So I thank you plenty. Secondly, I want to thank all the Ambazonians for diaspora. when the leader becomes outside, he can't tell the Ambazonian people them about the need for this time for a war of independence, the need for building a stabilization force. When the leader become, he can't explain them for the Ambazonian people. He explained this plan, he explained this vision. We come out outside, we explain them, we continue to explain them, educate Ambazonians on this need, and mobilize Ambazonians. Ambazonians then, they trust the plan because they trust the vision. They trust the plan because they trust the leadership. They trust the plan because they trust the roadmap. They trust the plan because they trust the strategy. Ambazonians, we mobilize Ambazonians. And Ambazonians, they make massive contribution. They make donations. They make commitments for this plan, for this program. And as promised, within 3 months, we raise enough money for be able for deliver that kind of results for the Ambazonian people there. Within 3 months, we buy all those materials. Within 3 months, they train the forces. Within 3 months, they show una forces. Now Ambazonia this. Now what he represent the governing council of Ambazonia that. Now what he represent Dr. Ebacho that. Not be leadership now because of the effectiveness for work on plans. The things the way they go advance the aspiration of the Ambazonian people them. The things the way they go make Ambazonia stand strong. Not only for ground, but for the international system. So we want to thank all the people them where they donate, they commit, and they send money for achieve this goal. This goal na for una. We want to thank una plenty. We thank all our mommy them and our papa them. We thank all our brothers them and our sisters them. Today, on Saturday, all we can gather for the Zoom meeting with the broadcast and for ACN here. And for the first time, for the history of the Ambazonian people them, as we don't explain them, one of the reasons will La République du Cameroun it be succeed for a next Ambazonia. La République du Cameroun be succeed, right, for colonized Ambazonia. La République du Cameroun be succeed for occupy Ambazonia. Now because we big papa them, powerful them, when they be go enter for the union with La République du Cameroun, they not be build any army. So we make them very easy for La République du Cameroun for roll in the army of occupation and take over Ambazonia and impose their will on the Ambazonian people then. So since 1961, we don't live under this occupation. We don't live under this colonization. Just because our big papa, they make a fundamental mistake for not build an army for the country. A country where we don't be self-governed. They don't build an army. And then they go enter into a fraudulent union. How you feel come out? Where the other people, them, they get army, they get police, they get gendarme. And you not get nothing. So fortunately for the Ambazonian people, them, a new generation don't rise. So while since 1961, while big papa, them, big mommy, them, they try all kind of way for tell the international community about the injustice, about how Cameroon don't occupy Ambazonia, and about how no union treaty they not be ever sign any union treaty. That one be being a talk because you don't get anything for defend yourself. You don't get anything for challenge Cameroon. Now the generation don't rise. Say, hey, we no need for make those errors where those people they make them for 1961. I will not need for accept the past. We get the right to life. We get the right for live in dignity. We get the right for be a sovereign state. First of all, in our land, in our country. So why we allow ourselves since 1961 for be occupied? And we accept the occupation. Right? You talk, they kill you. You talk, they put you for jail. You talk, they torture you or they disappear you. or you run. Like most of we don't run. Right? That's why people don't live since 1961. So why a people, they get to be the first democracy for Africa, they build a successful economy, why we allow ourselves to be occupied? Why we allow ourselves to live under Cameroon occupation? And for Live and Miwa people don't suffer for all these years. 60 years, that's a very long time. An average person need even for Ambazonia and La Republique, you need even live up to 60 years. So 60 years is a very long time. So the generation rise. That's why we get for challenge La Republique du Cameroun as the leader be talk. If we do the things of the past, we go get the results of the past. So we'll not continue with failed policies and failed ideologies and things that go change. When the people be done ready and 2016 be start, it be at the rise of a new generation for right the errors of the past, for reclaim Ambazonia and give Ambazonia back to the rightful owners, for give our people them dignity and respect for this life. 2016 it be na a change in philosophy. It be na a change in approach about how to end Cameroon occupation. So when the leader roll out the roadmap for liberation and they start the work for build the Ambazonia Defense Forces, now for send a message to La République du Cameroun and to the international system, say this generation not be na the Munas or the Funchas, not be na the Endeles. Now a generation where you understand how the world work. Now a generation where you understand how La République de function. Now a generation where you understand La République du Cameroun, their DNA. And how to challenge them. So in only 4 years, from nothing, we start with nothing. Empty hands. We boys they woke up for challenge Cameroun. Say, you know, if you kill what people then, rape mommy them, burn houses, catch our brothers them and sisters them, lock them, send some for bush, and you go free. That thing no go happen with this generation. And they start. The generation rise. The never again generation. The generation of greatness. The bravest generation. The generation that they chop fire. General Ive were picking the rice. Mamia P picking the rice. For defend the land. For move the matter from Cameroon in hand and put them back for the hand of the international system. Say we must talk this matter and we'll get for talk this matter now as equal parties. La République no go dictate the future of Ambazonia. France no go dictate the future of Ambazonia. England no go dictate the future of Ambazonia. Why they be fit for dictate the future of Ambazonia? Because Ambazonia no be build an army for project power. Now power they control the world. Not be talk. Not be protest. The world be controlled by power. And until you make yourself powerful, you will be at the mercy. You will be a victim of circumstances. You will be at the mercy of the international system. You will be at the mercy of France and England and America and the United Nations and the African Union. We are a club of countries. You will be at their mercy. That's why with all the numbers of Ambazonians, so they don't kill them, they need a cough. Dr. Abase, we must change that and speak a language we they understand. Dr. Kwanga tell we say we must change them and speak the language we they understand. The special forces with the leader, the commissioner, with General Efan, a build them for the Ambazonian people. The special forces. Now they journey this, now they work at this, now they step then this way they take them for defend Ambazonia. We got to move beyond block by block. Cameroun already be defeated through the block by block. Cameroun don't be defeated. So now once you defeat Cameroun, what's next? If you defeat Cameroun through block by block, it creates an environment of ungovernability. The world be trust Cameroun. Say na Cameroun be responsible for provide peace, security, and stability. Now when you move Cameroun, you defeat them. You take over the ability for administer control and governance. What do you think is going to happen? Chaos. Till people they go take over. And Cameroun, it go put in bad elements. It go create all kind militias. Give the gun them. Call them say na Amber Boys. For terrorize the population. For the defeat. For punish the population. So that the world know if he hold the Republic accountable. For the crimes them. Because they go think say na malicious. But na Cameroun they do most of the work. For punish the Ambazonian people for the defeat. So once Cameroun don't be defeated, if we not fill in the gap, that gap will be filled by Boko Haram and bad actors with thief people them, with all kind groups. They go take over and fill the gap. Because the block by block forces, the only day now for make sure say they make Cameroun come back take control of Ambazonia. So they not get the kind power for do the kind work will be required for stabilize ground zero. Because now AGOF C create the roadmap. Now the leader create the roadmap, present the roadmap. So if you understand who's out there and what it need for be done. So now for the way the stabilization force it come inside. So okay, as we don't defeat Cameroun, now the time this for we for put a force will be powerful enough. And if it counteract these bad elements for our communities, whether they do all this kidnapping for ransoms, whether they do all the thief, whether they beat people them, harass people them, whether they go set checkpoints and begin to ask drivers, may they pay 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. And if you not pay them, if you even carry you go for bush, beat you, kill you. So we need a force. We go stabilize the ground. Give our people assurance. Bring hope. Bring peace. Say with the defeat of Cameroun, the Ambazonian people, they feel start take over. Now they sense this way the leader get them. Now the strategy this. We defeat Cameroun, now we get for fill in the gap. For be the providers of peace, security, and stability for that place where they call and say the Gulf of Guinea. Ambazonia is a very important place for Africa. One of the most strategic places where it determine how business, whether international business work or not. So if Ambazonia, peace, security, and stability, the entire Central Africa and West Africa, it go chakara. That's how important Ambazonia be. Ambazonia be for the center. So now the anchor for which it go had determined which it happen for both the Central African region and the Western African region because Ambazonia is for center. That's how critical Ambazonia be. With that, it also means say the world you no want change. The world no go just because Ambazonia they don't rise up and it talks, oh, we'll just recognize Ambazonia. Even with the defeat of Cameroun, the world will still look for, it will still, if will not be put in the stabilization force. And as I go explain more, if we not do some other things, then the world will still look upon La République, the Central African region and West African states. They go still look upon La République for bring peace back for Ambazonia and take back control. That's why it be very critical. Say the leader be get this sense for Guy and for the Ambazonian people them. Say make we not just leave this thing, say we don't defeat Cameroon and we get dynamic control. We got for show a level of power for ground. For assure those regions. Say with the defeat of Cameroon, they honor them for that land, they feel stabilize the ground, and they bring peace, security, and stability where it no go disturb international trade and cause insecurity for that region. Now they sense this. So the stabilization force now for do two things. Assure say with the defeat of Cameroon, a chronic corrupt state where it be ruled by very old men. Paul Biya, he did in his 90s. The president of Cameroon Senate, he almost did, he did not for wheelchair. When I don't see the other day they carry. The president of Cameroon Parliament, that one too, he did not for wheelchair. So in a country we don't be ruled by old men, old ideologies, where their brain don't die. So the world will still look upon the state, even though it be ruled by old men, say, hey, their army, police, be and gendarme, maybe they fit do something for stabilize, for take back control of Ambazonia. So that make things not scatter. So that's why the leader move in with a fine sense. He say, make we assure the world. Say we'll not just be a people the way we just they do things the way they scatter. Okay, now when I don't defeat La République du Cameroun, now Cameroon don't lose control of Ambazonia. Now when I get dynamic control, but when I never show a level of maturity, a level of seriousness and organization, we if tell the world say not be not only boys that they fight anyhow, but now say a force day where it go assure all the fighting forces for ground zero. For make sure say they work professionally, they follow a code of conduct, they work through a command and control structure, so that ground zero no go be a very scattered and loose place. 2, now for assure the international community, say, hey, Ambazonians, the new generation this. We not get for take we seriously. Now we be the new owners for the land. We go fill in the gap with the defeat of Cameroon. And we go start for take control of our territory. I will not need una permission. We not get for recognize Ambazonia. Now they sense this. So the stabilization force now a leverage both within the regional countries for within Ambazonia and the international system. Now a high leverage for La République du Cameroun for say, hey, not ever the talk say not just Amba boys. They don't put in a professional military. Leadership there for ground. So now a powerful signal. So when we look at the stabilization force, now a big strategy for give Ambazonia international standing, for put Ambazonia for a very high place for the world, because the conversation already start for change. With the launching of the stabilization force, the conversation for the international community, it don't start for change. With the launching of the stabilization force, the conversation within Ambazonia, it don't start for change. Make I explain now. Wait, it don't happen over the last 4 years. Now say with all these groups and for ground through the block by block, no force, it not be really come out for dominate a certain way for ground zero. The ADF dominate. Now the biggest, most powerful group for ground zero. But because they be so scattered, the ADF alone, they get 80 brigades where they be spread all over Ambazonia. So you not really see the size of that force and its power for ground. So it make ground zero almost be an equal platform for all the groups the way they fight. So basically, it make us say no leading voice in order for ground zero. Even though the ADF not the leading voice, but people they need to see them because block by block it give every person power for ground. So it be also make and within Ambazonia they not be know who they really lead for ground because the ground over big and all places be these forces be spread. Even with the rise of General Ivo for proof to the Ambazonian people, them Ambazonia still they believe say some other people that they do work for ground. Even with which General F and don't do them all. Even with all the guns and with the show them. Ambazonia they still believe say leaders them for Ambazonia War of Independence they plenty. So waiting the stabilization force, it don't do them. Now for quench the noise about ground zero. Now for quench the noise about who did do the real work for the Ambazonian people them. About who be most effective. Which leader, he understand how to beat La République du Cameroun, how to defeat La République du Cameroun, how to mobilize the forces for ground, how to prosecute the war for ground effectively. So the stabilization force, it changed this noise within Ambazonia. Now the first time this in 4 years, where the noise for social media don't change. This afternoon for our own time for this side, Pa Sisiko, Sheikh Christmas Ebini, now the godfather for Sisiko Ayoktabe IGK. Now one of our big brother them for our war of independence, who they don't be around for a long time. When he watch the stabilization force launching or commissioning, he go for Twitter. He go talk say, Chai! This one we never see him before. He talk say, if waiting my eye, he don't carry him, he see him. Say nothing this way, Dr. Yabacho, for the governing council of Ambazonia and the leadership of ADF, if nothing this way, they don't do them. Put them for ground. Build this kind of army for the Ambazonian people them. If not true, say waiting my eye this yam. Not be a mistake, say not true. Then every Ambazonian he get for support them. Then at the direction that way, all we get for move for support Dr. Ayaba and support the ADF for continue this kind of work for ground zero. Now they think this way, Pa Christmas Ebini, Pa Christmas, no, Pa Christmas, Siseko, She Ebini. Now they think this way talking for Twitter. So now we understand, say, with the launching of the stabilization force, it cool down all this small noise within Ambazonia. It cool down the noise of the distraction. All these small noise, and it cool them down. So now a great achievement for the Ambazonian people them. But what did this one really mean for the Ambazonian people them? I think some people they ask me, say, PS, ask what did this one really mean? What did it mean for all we na say? The world no go take you for granted anymore. La République no go take you for granted anymore. We don't prove ourselves to the international system. Say we not only rise up, there will be a smart generation. And we know waiting for you for take back our country. And say for this generation, we no go take no nonsense whether not from the United Nations or from the African Union, whether not from the European Union or from the Americans or from the French or the British, we no go take no nonsense from everybody. Now for send a message, do what mean say the rights of Ambazonia for life, they get the right to life. They get the right for live in freedom. They get the right under the sun for live in happiness. They get the right for sovereignty. That right, we need to beg na some person. That right, Dr. Abanon tell we, now we must give ourselves that right by the power we put on for ground zero. Until we do this work, we go still be a victim to the international system. Until we do this work, we go still be beggars of freedom. Until we do this work, the future of the Ambazonian people, they will not be secure. They will be reoccupied by Cameroun and foreign interest. Now the meaning of the special forces than that. Say never would any other country dare for occupy Ambazonia. Now a message, a symbol, a powerful message for say this generation don't rise. And the rights of the Ambazonian people them for be free, it not go be negotiated. The freedom of Ambazonia, it not go be compromised. The sovereignty of Ambazonia, not be something we go negotiate with any person. Now the meaning that. So now a message of seriousness for define the destiny of the Ambazonian people then. Right the errors of the past. Because eventually the war will come to an end. A negotiated settlement. It will happen between Ambazonia and Cameroun. Now how you go for that negotiated settlement? Now how you enter negotiation? How? Through ghost town? You want to go talk say because you call for ghost town when people they effectuate ghost town every Monday? So they leverage that? Or because say when we call for lockdown, while people that they respect them, so now leverage that. Or because we get some voices in the bushes where they fight, you go talk say they leverage that. It not be enough. It not be enough for redirect the conversation and put we on top. It not be enough. That's why Dr. Hebadi always move with 10 steps ahead. For prepare we for what to come. For prepare we for the future. For prepare we for what we deserve them. Now we must give ourselves what we deserve them. Now we must create the conditions where they go favor Ambazonia. Now we must prove them for the world. So be a people who be ready for take over the responsibility of running a state. For be able for provide peace, security, and stability. Now those three things, the international system, they depend upon for international trade. And the absence of those things, it make you a weak actor. It make you a weak partner. If you not fit demonstrate your strength, prove your strength, show your strength, may be so visible for every person. Then you not be a strong, a powerful partner. You not be a strong partner where the Americans feel count upon. For look, I'm saying, look, the way this thing there, we not think say Cameroun go fit. It go fit tilt the coin back. We not think say Cameroun go fit reverse the trend and the progress where the people don't make them. We not think say Cameroun go gain legitimacy back from Ambazonia. Now the strategy that for convince them. Not be na for go beg them. Say recognize me no. You know say we get right no. You know say Cameroun and Ambazonia they not be signed union treaty no. Una recognize we. That one you be beg. They were not like beggars. They were like power. So we'll be a powerful, intelligent generation. And because of this strategy, because of the launching of the stabilization force, it don't send a new level of confidence, not only to the international system, not only to the Canadians, not only to the Americans or the British or the French or the United Nations, but it don't change the language for the world. It don't change the language. Now the game this, play to win. Play to win. And for play to win, you must understand the rules of the game. You must understand the tactics of winning. You must understand the tactics, the tactics for gain power and make your people powerful. You must understand how the international system they work. And what will be the expectation and the rules of leverage. While leverage not be only the ghost town. While leverage not be only the call for lockdown. While leverage not be only the block by block. While leverage as a people. Now a determined, committed people. Where they be intelligent, they be smart. And they do the things them. Where they project Ambazonia. And replace Cameroon defeat with Ambazonian ownership and control. That's why they create the stabilization force. So with the first batch of the stabilization force, I know see when all when I watch these things, I understand the happiness of all man. We get a lot of calls from ground zero. People they say, "Chai, PS ASO." So now they think this way, the ADF don't belong. Now they think this way, General F and don't belong. I say yes. Will be people for hard work. Who believe say hard work they create miracles. We believe say a vision with a strategy and a team of people will be dedicated for fulfill the vision of the people and they be willing for do the hard work on behalf of the people. We be miracle creators. Wait till una the same. Now a miracle that will create them for the people them. For give our people them the hope where they deserve them. Dr. Larry Ayamba, the Secretary of State for Governing Council of Ambazonia, he talks say diplomacy without a powerful defense force, it dey like toilet paper where you don't take them, you wipe your nyash. It be useless. Diplomacy with a powerful defense force. Now they give you the currency of leverage. And the stabilization force, you don't add 10 steps. You don't take Ambazonian 10 steps higher than place will be ever there before. In terms of our diplomatic power. Now what diplomats, if you talk, they knock their hand for chest. What diplomats, if you talk, with their hand for up. The fit now that they go for any talks, for any table, with their AK for their hand. We speak now from a position of strength. Not be a position of begging. Not be a position of what if. Control. Power. Now what's it gonna make you win for life that? Because you understand the game of how the international system work. Now the meaning of the stabilization force this. Secondly, stabilization force means say for ground zero, we get now a force where for all the places where kidnapping for ransom is over plenty. The general fit deploy the stabilization force for enter for that kind of place and bring order and stop the crime and clean the environment from the bad elements and protect our people them. When the peripheral forces them, the forces of the block by block, when they be order attacked by the colonial forces, because block by block forces them, someone they be very small, someone they big, someone they over big. When they be under attack, no matter place where they dey, the general fit deploy the stabilization force for go give the peripheral forces them, the block by block forces them back up immediately. So it bring a level of confidence for the forces, for no say they get a bigger brother. They get a King Kong for fight. Now the stabilization force are the stabilization force, now the King Kong of fighting for Ambazonia. When the peripheral forces they be under attack, and we know say La Republique go overwhelm them, the King Kong, the stabilization force, it go be deployed for that place for cover, for give cover for the peripheral forces them, and then push La Republique back and chase them out. So with this one, while peripheral forces of the block by block, they now get that level of confidence. So they get a force where if you protect them, defend them, and give them back up. So what did this one did it do? I'm not say psychologically, it did reduce the fear within the peripheral forces. So where if we be under attack, what will we do? And it give them the courage and the certainty. So they get a big brother where they look after them. And it will always be there for protect and give them the cover where they need them. This one be very important for the block by block forces them for continue with their campaign for make Cameroun not get any one eye control from Ambazonia anymore. It be very important. It be important for all our forces them for no say all the forces for ground zero, they go be transformed into active soldier them for Ambazonia. Now the goals of leadership, the stabilization force, not just the beginning, for take all the block by block forces them, transform them, train them, equip them, and turn them into real active soldiers in Ambazonia. Now they plan this, now the vision this, now the future this. Every soldier from Ambazonia, it go be converted, it go be transformed, it go be trained to become an active, well-equipped soldier from Ambazonia. So for all the peripheral forces them, and also when I don't see the special forces them, and we get a lot of calls with the other people that the soldier that they call, they say, how then the fit join the special forces? I might just explain this thing. I hope say, oh, I know say the special forces, they come out, they be made up of forces, they come out for 7 different states from Ambazonia. Because now the future of a nation will be built. You don't need for come out for one place. We want to make the army of the country, it reflect the diversity of Ambazonia. It reflect what ethnicities, what language, what cultures them. As a people, because what diversity now our biggest strength. So when a stabilization force, it be made up of ADF forces them for 7 different states, and sister forces from 7 different states. Not be only now the ADF forces them, they come, they take them, they train them for stabilization force. A lot of the forces them for stabilization force, now forces them from sister forces, from other forces them way, not be even ADF. Now the future of the bill, so not be now an ADF thing. Now for Ambazonia. That's why they create this inclusion for bring in all the other forces them too. May they be part of these special forces. When they be the special forces for Ambazonia. So for all the other peripheral forces them, when I know say the leader he go now for mobilize Ambazonia so that we start for transform what block by block forces them into real active soldiers. Where any man he go also look like this a special like one of those special forces. We not get training. We not get different types of training because now for start for build the country. Now for start for build the army for the country. We no go negotiate from a position of weakness. We go negotiate from a position of strength. And now the strength this, now the foundation of the strength this, we don't start for Bilam. So all the peripheral forces will not get confidence. Any man the time they come. We will go continue for do the hard work. For start for transform our forces them. So that we start for create a command and control structure with a total code of conduct for ground zero, for start for build the army. With the defeat of Cameroun, we the Ambazonian people must take back our territory. We must take back our country by building an army. We go protect the people them, defend the people them, and defend the sovereignty of Ambazonia. The independence declared, the independence restored and reaffirmed must be defended. Now the generation this, not be some other person who can do it for we. When the Americans, they be there under British occupation, they not be with me some person. They can't tell them their rights for freedom. They rise using the block by block strategy and battle the occupier until they bundle them out. Then they erect an army. And today, the people of America, they enjoy the freedom where they enjoy them for over 200 years. And because they not be wait for no man. They take the responsibility for reclaim their freedom and give their people them dignity and hope. And today being the shining example for the world. A country we get the biggest economy, the most prosperous country. They get the highest number of billionaires. And they do more invention past any other country for the world. From in science, technology, engineering, pharmaceutical, for medicine, and for anything we concern military things. They lead the way for everything. It come about because the people, they stand up, they reclaim their dignity and promise themselves prosperity. They promise themselves freedom. And the same thing this generation they do. Cameroon occupation for Ambazonia don't come to an end. Cameroon colonialism of Ambazonia don't come to an end. Cameroon don't be defeated through the block by block strategy. So that's why the leader they call all we. Say the first batch of the stabilization force, that's just the beginning. For sure we wait to be possible. When we commit ourselves to an idea, when we commit ourselves to a strategy, when we commit ourselves to a roadmap, and when we commit ourselves for work on projects, will it be achievable? if we put this together in 3 months? Some other thing they will not do them. Then we fit increase this one. We fit double them. We fit make them 3 times bigger. We fit make them 4 times bigger. What if as a people we be so inspired by what we don't see in front of our way? It makes always so happy. And it make we talk say, we must put this for every state from Ambazonia. What if? It be possible? Of course. We want independence. I know you want independence. I know you want freedom, right? I know you don't tired of Cameroun terrorism for Ambazonia, right? I know say you don't tire of Cameroun tyranny for Ambazonia. You don't tire with Cameroun corruption for Ambazonia. You don't tire with the way that they treat our people them. I know say you don't be tired. So that means say you want something different. That means say you want hope. That means say you want control, a country where the Ambazonian people they get control over. You want a country where the Ambazonian people they get full control for determining the destiny for our people them. That means say you want peace. That means say you want security. That means say you want to live with dignity. You want a police force where when you pass, they go treat you fine as a citizen. When you see Amina, so you'll be very happy for Salodi. And for tell you thank you, say they defend the nation. No be na army. When picking see, even Ambazonia picking with it for Bele, you go start cry. Because the fear say they feel killing. I know say you want an empowering alternative. I know say you want a bright future. You want them, right? You want them for your picking them. You want them, you want a safe environment for mommy them. I know say you want good hospital when big mommy is sick. You go for doctor, the doctor fit talk pidgin for mommy, for understand what mommy they go through. And the Ambazonia government go pay for it. I hospital where they go fit do better test. And provide the highest quality care for our mommy them, for our picking them, for all we. And also you want those things. That's why you don't be fed up with Cameroon. We don't need to accept the past. At the past. The future of Ambazonia be too bright. The moment don't come. For we for seize the opportunity. For continue for stabilize our war of independence. For bring all the people them. Would they be interested for the stabilization project? No saying that the way forward that. Now for increase the arms on the ground through effective training, effective supply, a command and control structure where it gives our people hope and belief for the liberation. Negotiations will come after. All the leaders, all people that they call themselves leaders, any person we want collaboration, any man with the talk say Ambazonia they need for collaborate. Now a project this for show your commitment for the freedom of Ambazonia. Now a project this For you, for sure, say, you really mean and you want me Ambazonia again independence. For we for stabilize ground zero. Empty collaboration. Just for say leaders don't come together. For political purposes. It means nothing to the Ambazonian people. It means nothing for Ambazonians. Because it don't get any direct effect for ground. Any man, any person, any movement where you stand for the independence of Ambazonia. The test of your commitment. The test of your position. Now, how you help for support the stabilization of ground zero with the defeat of Cameroun. Collaboration for the purpose for go negotiate, it be useless. Collaboration for the purpose to make ground zero strong in terms of the quality of army and the defense forces and the guns they will put on for ground through a command and control structure. Now I go give Ambazonia the teeth for bite during diplomacy. For bite. Ambazonia no go be a paper tiger for negotiation. Now a lion will get big teeth them. If you bite. So any collaboration now for strengthening ground zero and not be for make photos and conferences for diaspora. Collaboration now for strengthening ground zero. So when you go out there and you hear any person, it make the noise of collaboration. Ask that person. Your collaboration now for strengthen ground zero, or your collaboration now for give you some small meaning and make you matter for diaspora. Or now for make you count as a leader for diaspora. Or now for make you count. So if you're one of the leaders that you want to go negotiate and you want to go talk for Ambazonia. You want to talk for Ambazonia. You must talk, align yourself with the fighting forces. And the collaboration this. Leaders, would you say was going to be frozen? Leaders make them collaborate for expand this force, for broaden this force, for enlarge this force. Now a collaboration that way it go get a meaning and an impact for Ambazonia. The governing council of Ambazonia, it don't prove to the Ambazonian people, say they get an effective strategy and an effective roadmap. Without the Ambazonia Defense Forces, without the governing council of Ambazonia, Ambazonian War of Independence, if it don't end since 2018, So for work together. Now for work on the priorities of the war of the liberation. On the priorities of waiting, it will reduce the suffering of our people then. It will advance Ambazonia for ground zero. It will stabilize the ground. Give our people them confidence. Now collaboration now we get meaning. Now collaboration now will matter to the Ambazonian people. I don't hear say this one actually a very funny thing. I hear say some people don't they talk for outside, they say make Ambazonia gather $200,000 so that if you go pay Professor Lumumba and Julius I think what be this Malena. May they raise $200,000. When I hear this one, Ambazonians, when I hear this one, we don't hear say they talk for outside, they say some people they talk for outside, they say make Ambazonia they find $200,000. They go pay Professor Lumumba, and then with Julius Malena, I think if I not pronounce his name fine, don't stay away. I really talk about this guy. So may they go pay this guy for South Africa, the opposition leader for South Africa Parliament. May they go pay you so that he go to talk about the Ambazonian people. Them. Do you want to wish? Now wish? $200,000. He go give you 100 AK. When I go the rest $200,000, when I go give him for some man, so that he talk about Ambazonia. I want independence, but I want make na some person go talk for me. I want independence, but when I give me money, may I go pay some person, make it talk for Ambazonia so that the world go, yeah. I want independence so that Julius Malena, he go talk for South African people and say something they go on for Anglophone Cameroun, so that Patrice Professor Lumumba, he go talk. Say there is something happening in Southern Cameroon. The world and African Union must take action on what is happening to the people of Southern Cameroon. And then the world go just can't give Ambazonia independence. That's why I don't hear. $200,000. He go give you 100 AKs. That means say if we train 100 of this kind of army, then we don't put them for ground. We put 50 for Manu. And we put another 50 for Fako. Instead for wait for some person, may go talk for Ambazonia. The guns, they go talk for Ambazonia. Ambazonia not be beggars. If we talk for ourselves, the media not be controlled by any person. I just go put a big tweet for Twitter today. I take the video of the launching of the special forces. I go put them there. And I communicate directly with the new US Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken. I put it, I tag his name there, he go see him. And he go watch the video. I tag Pobia. I say, Pobia, can't see what Ambazonia don't be like. For Twitter. I say, the defeat of Cameroon, the Ambazonia people, they don't take back control. I put them for there. I tag Pobia. I tag Emmanuel Macron. I tag Guterres. Just with one tweet, you communicate with all those people at one time. Not being at the HDs. That's why we got to be very careful. With all these people, they tell we say they talk of Ambazonia. We get a roadmap. We get a strategy. It work miracles. We get for focus. Any place when you hear some person they talk about collaboration, If the priority not be for make ground zero strong, cover a ear, you run. A balok. You go for some place, some activists. It make noise. Ask him, make it show you. Wait till they don't produce some for the Ambazonian people them since 2017. Ask them. Not take any nonsense from any person anymore. Not listen for people where they need to help you, where they need to help ground zero. Make it stand strong. Any person where talks to be an Ambazonian activist, and they need to play a role for make ground zero, make it be more united, make it be more stable, make it be more strong. Run. Any movement we're only talking about collaboration, but no action for support the things and we go make ground zero a priority. Run. We get for prioritize our attention. You get for prioritize what you watch, what you listen, and what you pay attention to. Anything we need to move you forward. It need to inspire your life. It need to make you a better person. It need to make your family better. It need to help your picking them to be better. Run. They go poison your mind, confuse you. That's why you got to maintain your focus and a disciplined mind. For know the difference between what go move you forward and what go set confusion for you. You must understand the difference. For we from Ambazonia Defense Forces and the Governing Council of Ambazonia, we don't define our priorities. Diplomacy comes second. Self-defense come first. Number one, ground zero now our priority. For make ground zero strong, now our priority. The protection of the Ambazonian people, the defense of the Ambazonian people, the defense for defend that independence, now our priority. Unapologetically. Until we do this work, expand this force, we get limited leverage. For win, we all therefore appreciate how far we don't come as a people. Not be that some one person do them. Now we all don't do them. The progress now by we all. By all the forces. By all our mammy them. But make we not come this far and not continue for make more progress. We come this far now for make sure so we make more progress. Make the stabilization force it be now something where it inspire every person. As per Christmas, it be don't talk. As per Christmas, se coucher be don't talk. That's something where all Ambazonia they need for embrace them. All movements they need for embrace them. We be willing and open for work with other Ambazonians. Whether una be the control na which group, Whether we be the advocate now for which thing, all the various blocks within our war of liberation will be willing and open for work for the priorities of the revolution. For all the people them, we they want the things that they go advance all way faster, will be willing and open for work collectively, for work together, for armed ground zero. Will be open. And for all we. So for all Ambazonian business people them, when I be people then way for be a business person, you got to be pragmatic and you got to be visionary. You got to be very hardworking, right? Now the thing that you take and for create a successful business, you work your ass off. The Governing Council of Ambazonia and the people of Ambazonia Defense Forces now one of the most hardest working Ambazonians for a war of liberation. So this project, we hope to go inspire all Ambazonian business people. Then they say, chai, if these guys, if you work on this project and produce these kind of significant, life-changing results, then we think, say, make we support. Make we support this thing. It make a lot of sense for place where they. And any of una, when I don't see the videos, so they don't come off outside, your heart don't over sweet. Now the time this will always, for no so we don't put the first stage of the stabilization force. Now the time for work for enlarge this force, for expand this force, for strengthen and prepare Ambazonia, for get the lion's teeth, for bite when the time for negotiation go come. Negotiations go come. You want enter for table with better AK, with power, because you not only control the ground dynamically, but you get static control, and we don't start for put in the local administrative functioning for Ambazonia, for all the liberated communities. We will start for pin Ambazonian flag, for fly for many communities for Ambazonia. People they see general, I get calls. People they say, I say, now for side they make that launching. Now for side they make that launching. PS. Now for side they make that launching. Hey, now ground zero that. I said, of course, now ground zero. You think so for side? That's Ambazonia. When we be tell when I say the Ambazonia Defense Forces, it don't liberate territories, it don't capture territories, and it control vast territories. We connect states. And for broad daylight, for 2021, we want to see under the sun of Ambazonia, on top Ambazonia ground. Not be until they go hide inside bush. They rally communities from 10 communities. They come together. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Ambazonia mami them. Big papa them, big sister them, big brother them. Picking them. They come witness the rise of a nation. They can't witness their own future. We feel expand this thing. For start to take back more control for our country. We feel do them. So for all the people there, they make this thing possible. One time gonna plenty. Any person where you still on the sideline, there is no alternative to Ambazonia Defense Forces. Any man where you still dream about some other alternative, there is no alternative to Ambazonia Defense Forces. Almost everything else, we don't try them since 2017. There is no alternative to Governing Council of Ambazonia. Any man will want independence from Ambazonia. At the time this will for come together for that independence, for that freedom. We'll get a convergence, a place we feel agree say na a common priority. We would like for work with all the groups them. We then to the beliefs in a common priority this. We would like for work together. So we'll invite everybody for the greater good of Ambazonia, for the collective freedom for Ambazonia. We invite all our patriots for join we, for put our hands in together, for expand the stabilization force, and start for prepare Ambazonia for bigger things. Now work way, God don't assign all we for this generation. Arguments, liberate Ambazonia. WhatsApp audios for quarrel and prove who be right and who be wrong. No go liberate Ambazonia. That's why most of the time, no matter the noise for out there, we stay focused. Because you know the game of the enemy. As a people, we must maintain a sense of laser focus. Like Hunter Man, you must maintain your focus. Distraction over plenty. So we will not live and make distraction. They make we not come together. If we do this thing together and make the process for the freedom for our people then faster. Now the message is of today. I want to call on all the business people then for Ground Zero. In a future, for make sure say you get an environment where you feel conduct your business. It also requires say when I step in. Your 500,000 where you go send them. You go a long way. Your 1 million where if you send them. It go a long way for help. For all the professionals and for outside here, regardless of what you want to be believe, the Governing Council of Ambazonia, Dr. Abacho, through his humility, but the hard work, it don't show we what it be possible. So when our investments, if you make a lot of difference to advance the cause for the Ambazonian people then. You don't need for be an engineer. You don't need for be a doctor. You don't need for be a big business person for make a difference. A comrade called me yesterday for Ground Zero. He said, wait, I don't see my heart over sweet. How he contribute? He said, I get 10,000 francs, 10,000 amber. I want to send him. I tell you, say, my brother, just the thought, the idea, that caring for your heart. Say you want to take that 10,000 amber away, get them. For one senam, for the stabilization forces. I tell you, say, for the quarter way they stay there. You know any big mommy we maybe need soap, maybe need water for drink. I said, by the time you want to send that money, only the charges alone. You go chop part of the money or all the money. I said, go buy half bag rice or half bucket gari or 1 bucket gari. Take that 10,000 or small bag rice. Go give for big mommy for quarter. So part of the contribution, not just money. What if you did for quarter and you be a little bit okay and things are better for you small? What if just on Sundays alone, you cook chop, you call small picking them for quarter, may they get better chop for chop at least once a day, once a week. If you give them hope. What if on Sunday and you stay for Yaoundé or for Douala and you cook chop, you go give them for prisoners of war and you go give them, you go comfort them. If you know if you contribute money, you feel contribute in kindness. You feel contribute in caring. What if you just go only for hospital and you buy fruits? You go visit picking away that is sick for hospital. And you comfort them. There are so many ways where you feel make a contribution during this time. The contribution for the liberation of homeland. We expect the diasporan population, for every Ambazonian, regardless of what you believe, for take that responsibility and free ground zero from the bondage of occupation. And we fit do them very easily. So understand, say, the atmosphere it don't be polarized. But if you just rise beyond the polarization, if you just rise your mind a little bit, and you tap into a vision and caring, and you look for things that matter, say if we do this thing all week, it will move it forward faster. Then, your $200, your $500, your $1,000, your $20, your $50, it will make a significant difference. It not take too much money for we for do it we don't do and for launch the stabilization force. It take caring. So you care about the people then, and you want to do it to be right, and wait to work, and wait to go produce the results. So you get a passion for preserve the people their life. For give them dignity. Cameroun don't be defeated. We not feel live for people. Make them live for a failed state. Any person who don't say Cameroun don't be defeated, listen to me. The days of Cameroun for Ambazonia don't be over. At the time for the Ambazonia people then for take control. We feed one. You care? You care about the people? Then step up and commit. I go open the line them. Or any people with the watch. I would like to take more calls actually for people that they did for ground zero. But it be okay too for people that they did for diaspora. Or the people that they watch for ground zero. Now WhatsApp number that for una front. We go like for hear from una. When una see the pictures and the videos of the stabilization forces. Now how una heart be oversweet? How una think that this one give una hope? And how this one go push one war of independence forward? It be okay for people then for diaspora to for call. So any person where you don't watch the videos, you don't see the videos, or you get a question You want to ask about the stabilization force? You want to know more about the plan? Or maybe you want to just thank the general, or you want to thank the forces. You get something where you want to express a joy and a sense of gratitude, thankfulness for what the general don't do, for what the leader don't do, for what Benedict Kwa and the team and the Mama Wallis and the Capo Daniel and the Sheikh Kavis and all the people there for AGOFC, they don't do on behalf of the Ambazonian people there. The lines will be open for all man. I will take call. Any person will only get maximum 2 minutes for you for express a joy, for you for express your happiness, or maybe you get a question where you want to ask her. We want to know more about the stabilization force, or you want to understand more about the Governing Council of Ambazonia or the Ambazonian Defense Forces. We'll be very, very open for taking our calls, for taking our question. The line will be very open for all man. We'll get time for take calls them and for answer all money question.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
If you call for WhatsApp, if you call directly, if you also call me for Facebook because the Bluetooth already be connected for Facebook. So if you call through your Facebook Messenger, when you see the videos of your stabilization forces, how happy you be? Your heart be over sweet. It make your heart feel ginger inside. It make you feel like dancing. It make you wake up, you say, chai! The future is here. How you feel? When you see all this professional trained army with better guitar than what they carry on, with better gun them, better uniform. When you see that one, how structured they be in their numbers, how happy you feel, how hopeful you feel about Ambazonia. We go take calls. Any person you want to call. The lines will be open for all man. Make we take this call from ground zero. Hello?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening for you, my brother.
Good evening, my brother. I'll be very happy for sooner for air. The one that they talk, when they give me encouragement, when they make life easy, when they tell we who get us back who lost General Ivo with the conspiracy of the Sarkos and the Chris Arno, and now we start to say life will come back normal. We hope to what they do, the Almighty will keep on for success, for final movement to Boya, because the ADF will count on to give us victory to Boya, and we know the liberation will come to ADF. We only put firepower. We put fire. Boya is our home, and that is the only solution. No matter what the international community says, the blueprints of ADF, is the solution of this crisis. We just pray that Southwest, especially Fako, should be stabilized, because only ADF can give us what we want. I'll be very happy. I'll salute my brother. I will watch you.
All right.
I hope say that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Well, this guy now now our brother that for ground zero. Go ahead. You get 10 more seconds.
Yeah, I want to ask you one question.
Yes.
We hope say all what you people are putting together, you get one team you get one spirit as a team. I also want to not be internally divided, because that is our hope.
Okay, I'll answer your question. All right. So for Governing Council of Ambazonia, they be founded on the mission and the liberation of Ambazonia. The whole purpose where they create the Governing Council of Ambazonia, now for lead the liberation process and for guarantee and give independence, freedom and independence to the Ambazonian people then. So all the people then, where they don't bring them in for volunteer for work for the Ambazonian people then. Now people, they be committed to that vision. They be committed to that promise. They be committed to that promise. They not create the Governing Council of Ambazonia and I say, can't be government for Ambazonia. They create the Governing Council of Ambazonia with a single promise to lead the way for the liberation of Ambazonia. Give the Ambazonian people them freedom and independence. Now the reason they create the Governing Council of Ambazonia. The people now united people because they be united in purpose. They be united for achieve that goal for our people them. That's why they create the ADF for do that work, for achieve the goal for ground. All right? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good evening, brother.
Yes. Good evening, my Congress.
We salute you now.
I say Happy New Year for all the Ambazonia.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year too for all we now.
I did really be happy for thing way it happen for we for the Amazonia.
Thank you very much.
I did see our forces as they shine.
Yes. Now Dr. Ayaba, he worked that with General Efang, the people of Governing Council of Ambazonia and the people of Ambazonia Defense Forces. Now they make ground zero, make you feel proud.
Wow, that's great.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much. You get any question for me? You get
Well,
you get 30 more seconds.
The one my own talk I want to talk maybe now say I did pray for unity among the forces then. I did pray for unity among the forces then. And then me they be their borders keeper when they did for front for confrontation, me they be their borders keeper.
Yes.
So that me if anything one happen, you help your brother.
You don't talk fine. Now fine talk, you don't talk. So now the prayer that and when I continue to pray for the forces them.
So and then we know so they for guerrilla warfare, we know the over if we get with sugar cane them, we hide a Miller Republic no the Siam. So that because when they come for can't fight and they need to show their team them over for we.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that suggestion and thank you for the call. Your time don't finish. Make answer the question we asked on collaboration. The policy of Governing Council of Ambazonia and the policy for the leadership of Ambazonia Defense Forces. We believe, say, make I take this call and then I'll answer the question, my brother. We'll take this call from Germany. Good afternoon, comrade. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, comrade Ashua.
I know.
Hello?
We hear you fine. We hear you 5 on 5.
Hello?
Right on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for the good job, comrade Ashua.
Thank you too.
I just want to tell you, since this week with the show where you don't put on, we don't get an increase in membership for Germany.
Wow, congratulations, German mission. AGOVC German mission. Oh, yeah. Wow.
And we shall continue to grow.
That's right. Not just the beginning, this.
God bless you people all.
All right. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Wow. Ambazonians, when I see the ripple effects, human beings, they want progress. The thing where they give people them happiness for life, not progress. The thing where they cause depression. Now when progress not there, people they be depressed. The two they make life better, not progress. Happiness, joy, it come now from progress. Wow. We'll take this call from the United States, from Kentucky. Good afternoon, comrade, from Kentucky.
Good afternoon.
I know.
Fine, my brother. I salute all now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon for you.
Yeah, they salute all. They salute all my brother them for the struggle. No, they fine. I hope so all not they fine.
Thank you. All with the fine.
I just want to ask one question because right now they watch the video for the forces the way they on ground on the trainer.
Yes.
I want to ask. I said this ADF new forces the way they release them now. I want to ask. I said they will send them now for both the northwest and the southwest, or they will be based only now for northwest because we believe the southwest is down for a very long time. And when Southwest is down for a very long time, the Republic people they concentrate more now on the West, where this now the problem is deep. Yes, with problem the all side. So I want to really ask, what is there for our mind? What is the plan? We want to get them to Southwest.
Okay.
Especially Meme and Faku, because it be very dormant.
Okay. Well, now a very good question. Now make a answer your question. Thank you very much. I'll cut the call and then I'll answer your question so that for all man.
Okay, my brother.
The question on collaboration, my brother we asked on collaboration. The policy of Governing Council of Ambazonia and the Ambazonia Defense Forces. We see every single Ambazonian soldier where he rise up for defend homeland. We see ye as a brother. The foundation of ADF, he recognized every soldier for ground. Say rise up now for defend the flag. Now for defend the people them. So the position of AGOVC and the position of ADF now for work with every force on the ground with their intention and the purpose of their existence and creation. Now for fight, for defend the people, for protect the people, and for defend the independence for Ambazonia. Any group we there for ground, when they are aimed at, and they work towards that one goal, the ADF, it be open for collaborate. The ADF be open for collaborate with those groups. If we see during the Nations, La République du Cameroun, their Nations Cup Championship, where they play some of the games and for the city of Victoria, the general, the ADF general for the ADF commander for FACO, Captain Small Pikin, he and all the commanders them for FACO and for Meme, they come together. They come together for work collectively as one for disrupt La République du Cameroun, their programs. That's unity. Now the purpose that, because now the only reason that with these groups that exist for ground. group for this block enough exists if group for that other block in not there. So that's why we believe say all the groups them for ground with the defied, we believe say their collaboration be very essential, number one, for their own survival. Collaboration for ground, it be essential like oxygen for the survival of every single soldier for ground. Okay, now the first thing that. Secondly, it be fine when these groups they work together because they help for protect each other, provide intelligence for each other, and if you give backup for each other. It's fine. When groups they work together for Ambazonia, it help for move the revolution faster. Secondly, we'll answer the question for the brother way he asked him about, whether the force could be based now for the Savannah states or now for the Atlantic states. The way they design the strategy for a war of independence, the strategy not be based now on for make forces they be for a specific place for a specific reason. Ground zero, they will put the strategy for ground. The strategy for ground, because now as we call and say guerrilla warfare, what forces that they come out from one block, they go carry actions for other block based on certain priorities them, certain security things them. Forces that they move, when they see forces that they come out from different places, they go right down for Manu. Forces that they come out Momo, they go right for Manu, enter for Manu, go do work, bring peace, bring stability. When I don't see him, General Grandpa, where now he be the general for the ADF general for the state of Momo. When I don't see any troops, they go right inside for Manu. So the way they prioritize the revolution, now for make sure say places the way they need actions and where it feel help we move Cameroun quicker. Now for there you go see the concentrate resources because they map the territory out for allocate resources for the place and way they be very important. Not be all place. So the other day some boy asked me say, why be say you never send soldiers them for Kajifu? I tell you say for place where Kajifu day, it not be strategically important for the Ambazonian people them in terms of the liberation roadmap. It not be important. And forces are not going to be everywhere for we for be able for defeat La République du Cameroun. We get not only strategic places them for knock La République du Cameroun out. Because we not get that kind of power for spread forces them for everywhere. So that's why they do them through a strategy. The liberation be based on strategy, not being on the number of forces who will just get for put them everywhere. Some places if you be quiet, they not say La République du Cameroun they get any control. They still work on a farmer car. Because the block by block, you know if you see maybe a lot of the bigger forces then, but the block by block forces they be very active for Meme, they be very active for Fako. All right? But in terms of the stabilization force, the force go be expanded to places then where they need them. And those places where you don't name them, they go also extend and enlarge the stabilization force. People they call plenty. All right, we don't miss a lot of calls. Make we call this my we don't call with plenty. Or this sister. All right. Yes, good evening for you.
Good evening, my brother, my pikin. I want to thank you plenty for this work on the tour.
Thank you,
Today for Ground Zero.
Thanks, Mommy.
So we see the work. I will be. Good evening.
Mommy, just go ahead, talk. Would hear you.
Yes, we just be very grateful. We there now, we there inside, we there about 15 or some days. We just the watch, you as we talk. We just be too happy. Now I say, Matt, I say thank you very much.
Well, Mommy, we thank una plenty, and we want to thank all una for how una stay strong and una still for the hope we una get them for the freedom of Ambazonia. We thank una plenty. Say every Monday, una the hope big go stand.
Okay.
So salute all man with the watch. We salute all our picking them, and we love una plenty, Mama.
Amen. God bless.
God bless you,
God
man.
bless also. Protect also.
All right, man.
May God continue to bless.
Thank you, Mommy. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yes, Comrade Ashu. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother. You get exactly 2 minutes. Right on.
Yes, but thank you so much. Smile day from my head, from my face, from head to toe. We don't wait the moment, so we don't be thirsty for drinking water. Finally, that water don't come. I'll be very, very happy. Not just for encouraging una for the work where una don't work so we don't see the result. I be just want to ask you this small question. You don't do some small fine talk way it sweet me past. You don't tell people the way, you don't send the video them for them. I be want to ask some say as you don't send the video, you don't send one of these videos for the boys in the bushes. Say today the boys now they are in the city, they are no longer in the bushes.
They watch them. They watch we. They monitor everything we do. We don't need for send for them.
Yeah, because these people they don't torment we. I believe say any of that thing where they call them, whether not terror, force of destruction, where they call them the force of order. Now the terrorists of destruction. I believe say they don't see the video, so their canals go mad for inside their belly. So the work where we man for we president, we papa Dr. Ayaba. Ironji we smile. I believe say the Sarkos and the Christianos, they will know now say game don't change hand. So we just want tangona. Say now so we'll be more committed for put more hand for pocket. For give and for una say me when I go ahead. For if I don't wake up for up. That are common so. We will now show them who are coming for them be. So we just want them when I say be happy.
Thank you very much.
So
yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. Don't reach.
I will
take another
believe
call. Thank
I
you.
be proud to be an Ambazonia.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Game day on. The lines will be very open for all, man. Maybe we take this other call. People don't call. A lot of people that they call plenty. So we'll only limit the call to 2 minutes. Will take time for answer question them. Okay, maybe we'll take this call from ground zero. We're priority at ground zero, so maybe we'll take this call from ground zero.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, hello. Good evening, brother.
Hey, you know, hello?
Hello?
Would
you hear you fine?
Yeah, hello?
Would hear you fine?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Lucas.
Good evening, my brother.
Yeah, be very happy for the program where they go on, and I want to make Amazonia for the minute be happy. Yeah, I want Amazonia to be happy. I want me to be happy so, because this is like for people that know. And again, at one time, my brother, Grandpa Devo, and the Almighty General Popo, and the rest, and the mighty Mission Commander Dona, and the rest, all the soldiers, we are very happy for that, and we are going to make Amazonia proud.
Wow.
Thank you very much, the CIC. Thank you very much. And also with the sportman, Zhang, and the rest, we are very happy watching even ourselves, our brothers, all over the TV. And I hope our brothers in Israel are watching. Also, the people in the BLM, they are also watching. Momo, Bui, Fako, Manu, and the rest. So we are very happy with the program on the ground. We are the voices in the bushes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ambazonia, yeah? Let me take this call. Good evening, comrade.
Good evening, Mr. Ashurokas.
I know.
No, I'm fine. I call from Ground Zero.
Yeah, we see the call from Ground Zero. So now how will be feel when we see the video of una force of una stabilization forces with General give now.
Napa, I know if the party ever do error, party ever do now which would like our ground. So there's war we use so that in them will go to money for we want them. That in we want them. Oh my skin na go see for them. But skin down the street, but in we want them.
Yes.
So I want to say this thing you know say this ADF Agos that people will be well organized and as so we seen and give for peace. If the people the way they want scatter, if they follow full step for Agos, let me say we no get up to 1 year again we will reach Korea.
Amen.
But, that is what you one way don't reach now. We all man don't see them say the boys and be armed and be well organized. My brother, when I forget about what we people they talk, when I focus. I see a video where they ask and say ADF the work for ADF don't go for breed. They don't see the result. Please J card them. They would some Aquaraway ADF for they calling away he don't woke up today make his own video. Say ADF make propaganda. When they ask something say man they do now how will them bring the world now turn and body side. They really want to go on one side. They take we go na back or they take we go na front.
Yeah, I swear.
Me they shoot me they leave me. Yes, because for war, any man no be say may not take much of your time, my brother. And I just say some kind of thing and dey for this struggle way. Me I dey for down. I don't tell you who I be for down.
Okay. Well, first
down.
of all, one
time. I know which way they pass for down.
All right, one thank you plenty. Your 2 minutes don't reach, so thank you plenty and salute all the people that are there around you. All right.
Yeah, no, with the look on 5.5, we did down all with the look which way they pass.
All right, thanks and plenty. May God bless you now. All right, we'll get a lot of calls. We'll get a lot of calls where they can go take this call. Ground Zero day on fire today. Ground Zero the charge.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, good evening, my brother.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, hello? I'm getting you.
Would he hear you 5 on 5? So right on, you got 2 minutes.
Okay. My own small thing where we want to talk now, say, thing where when they do, it be very, very, very good. But the problem be say, sometimes when, like, you did with the ADF, forget about the other group, people should forget about the other group and based on your rank. Then when you come, sometimes you just talk about the other group, them. From there, where sometimes we see things and they just look some kind. When you come, like, when they do them, so it be very good. But we know say in any group they always do mistakes. But when they do them, no we say even winner for ADF, no man not be perfect. Sometimes when I do things we not get to do. Like for Sakoi own group, they do things them way they not get for doing. But sometimes they do the right thing, sometimes they do the wrong thing. So thing we want try to say the job when they do it be very great. But me when I try for she don't together collaborate, talk for each other. Even something one be wrong. If she don't call your brother, talk for you, say no, brother, this thing where he talk so it not be good.
All right.
So when you start the expose the insult, they look good for we. We there for ground, so we suffer plenty thing and they will with the pass through. But when I don't she don't again, man go take a whole time like 2 hours just to talk about the other activities. So they want to do so, when it be like that one so we be confused and then they worry we.
All right, so your 2 minutes. Your 2 minutes. Your 2 minutes don't finish. Now make her take more time for response for what you don't talk. Thank you very much for the call. Your call for collaboration, as we already explained, the Ambazonian Governing Council, they get a position as the leading movement. We lead the liberation of Ambazonia. For collaborate with other movements where they also want work for the independence of Ambazonia, for prioritize what you go liberate our people. Them. We go continue for advocate and for debate the issues. We need to talk about people. We need to debate the issues and examine policies. Anything we need to move our people them to the right direction, we will talk about it, make all we understand and get better understanding. Debate for Ambazonia, it help movements and groups make it function better. They could take this call from ground zero. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
I beg, reduce the volume for your TV for your back. Yeah, I beg, reduce the volume for your TV for your back. Just talk to me for phone. Yeah, hello, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Ashu.
Yes, bro.
Good morning or a good day.
Now good afternoon.
I thank you. I thank one for wait. Yeah. I thank one for wait to wait one to do. But in all fairness, when we make this revolution, maybe we talk now about the same thing we want to do. Maybe we focus for which way we the drum for Ground Zero here, because for Ground Zero here where we did see say the other group they do even more better than the way you they try for the do. So maybe they talk now with you and that people them they know they even talk about one now. So when we begin to talk now about some other people, it is confused we for Ground Zero here. They like say you the fight now the other people there. No be La Republic. Thank you.
Well, we know we agree to make people they do what they're supposed to do. At the same time, we believe say all movements make they do what they want do as long as they advance the Ambazonian people. Them. The Ambazonia not be La Republic of Cameroun. The kind country would the one build them and reclaim them. Not be na La Republic of Cameroun where people need to get constructive debates. If people, for example, when the other movements, they come up with the lockdown for Bamenda, they talk say they want lock Bamenda down for indefinitely. We examine them, we look them, say na something where it go be very bad for the Ambazonian people they know they stay for Bamenda. It go be bad for our forces, and it go be bad for our war of independence. Now a debate, now an issue, it not be about some person. And we debate them. And the Ambazonian people realize and say, they say, because we debate them, we debate the issues, we educate people them, what's it happen? The Ambazonian people say, that this did not make any sense. The indefinite lockdown, it died. That's the power of constructive, respectful debates. It not be about a specific people. It be na something where it concern all we and it go get an impact, a destructive impact for a war of independence. Now imagine, I just talk say as you talk. You say we'll not for the talk about it. Make we talk say they say they can't announce an indefinite lockdown. The city of Bamenda, now a city of almost 600,000 people then. More talk say you call for an indefinite lockdown. For 600,000 people then. What will be the consequences? And you not define the political objectives of that lockdown. And you not get the forces for enforce that lockdown. That's why we get these debates. Because if we kill a war of independence and punish the people for Bamenda, it not be about some person. Not just just an example that for constructive debates. Now Ambazonia this. Hello? Yes, comrade. Good evening for you.
Hello.
Yes, comrade. Good evening.
Hello, evening, Mr. Ashu.
Yes, bro.
Evening, Mr. Ashu. Thank you for Amazon people. I receive our ADF to do Amazon Defense Force. We thank you for General and thank you for General Gampa, Colonel Gampa, and General Popo. And Mission Commander Donna and Hassan Ziki. Thank you. No ADF, no Ambazonia. Thank you very much.
Wow. All right. This caller na a caller of a man of few words. Na really a man of few words. He just call it talk. It once more do already go. All right. All right, we'll get time for take. We'll get about 10 more minutes for take 5 more calls. We get a lot of. We'll get. Hello. Hello. We got 10 more minutes for take 5 more calls. Our priority now for ground zero for express how they receive the news of the stabilization force, how they feel when they see their new elite forces of the ADF new force, what they call and say the stabilization force or Akamatsu. When we receive them, Akamaso, when we receive and how we be feel, how happy we be feel. Now they talk that for today. So we got about 10 more minutes. We'll take this call from ground zero.
Hello, yes.
Yes, good evening, comrade.
Yeah, good evening, Daddy.
How for you?
No, Daddy. I don't see better action force. I don't see a very. My skin already inside. I'm so be very happy.
Good. Good.
I'm so be very happy. I'll be very happy.
Very nice. You got anything? You got anything for talk? Now which message you want pass on to the other Ambazonian people them, or to the forces, or to the leader?
So for me, I feel I've never all already.
All right. All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the call. You be also a man of few words. When he just talks more, it corrects you. So thank you very much. When I get a good night for that side and salute all man with there around you.
All right, Daddy. Good night.
Good night. We'll get 4 more calls. We'll get 8 more minutes for take 4 more calls. So we'll get time. Let me take this call from California for America. Yes, we're big brother for that side for California for America. Good evening, good afternoon for you. Let me take this call from California for America.
Yes.
Yes, we're big brother for that side for California for America.
Yes, sir.
I beg if you fit big brother,
Yes,
if you feel help we reduce the
God bless you and thank you for your great job.
If you feel help we for reduce the volume for your TV for back and just talk with the phone, it go over fine.
So I think it'll be okay now.
It'll be very okay. Right on, Pastor.
Yes, I think it'll be okay now. Don't reduce the volume and So I want to respond to there's some two friends where they talk for two brothers. Of course, they are not just friends. They are brothers from the ground zero. We want to thank them for the wonderful job what they do, but they must understand, say, in as much as we are looking forward to collaborate with other people, we are also towing the line because some people don't actually promise we death. And they are our own brother as we consider them. They have promised us death. They have promised our leader death. They have not said it in the back. They've gone on the air to say that. So sometimes we don't have to sit quiet and allow this kind of barbaric kind of behavior. And so that's some reason in that we don't want to just go mix up with any kind of person. So with the begging say, it's not our fault. We are preparing to defend a nation and not to fight among ourselves. Make them behave. Make them behave. You understand, say, we never ever go attack them or we never ever go follow up somebody. Now, don't make we be skeptical. So when we be skeptical for mix up with somebody is because we know, say, we don't want to put our hands with that person. He use knife for cut up. He use knife for cut way. So at the beg, say, so I talk now on your behalf because sometimes some of this thing that you know going to answer them. If I say make we be also for background when we talk on your place, the reason is because some of them don't want us and they want to kill our leader. They want to kill our people. So thank God for you. Keep on doing your word. Speak the truth. Don't be afraid to say the truth. Don't be afraid to say the truth. Spread it out, and God bless you. God bless our leader. God bless Ambazonia. May God shorten this revolution and make we one day we begin to celebrate. When we're there home, we raise our hands and sing the yippee yippee song of glory to give all the praise to him. We continue to pray. I will not live without praying for Ambazonia online. Father, I want to thank you for our life, for the life of this your son you are using. Even to those ones who are calling from ground zero, that you have protected them and kept them aside. The battle is in your hands, Lord. When you fight it up in the spirit, you help us in the physical to carry it out. Father, whatever demonic spirit you are using to face us or to continue to keep us in this bondage, Father, we are destabilizing it right now. We pray that you will destroy it, you will uproot it, you will dismantle all their plans. Whenever they sit to think and set from to talk about us, set confusion in their midst. Set confusion in their midst. Amen. We thank you, Yahweh, because you will do even better than what we have prayed for.
Thank you.
In Jesus' name. We have been doing it. And so we say thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
All right. Now our big brother that of America, a pastor for that side of America, he don't call for pray for all we thank you very much for the advice. All right. So we get only 3 more minutes and I'll take one more call. I see people on the call from ground zero. So we'll only take one more call. We'll call this comrade. We don't call we will call this comrade.
Brother Ashu.
Yes, my brother from Sydney, Australia. We salute Una for that side. I think for Sydney, for that side for Una.
My brother, shake day.
Shake no day.
Shake day again.
Shake no day.
Now so mama on the move the talk. Say as our leader the talker say nobody get power, now only God you want get power. I want to say that person where they ground zero. If we record them, no be prove you, make you happy, make you know they watch our ACN TV. Because we don't always be there. We believe say now record they follow ADF. And the record they not make it they watch the TV. There's no day we go collaborate with those people. When I people, as they prove yourself with the Siam. So make it first of all appreciate all with effort, all with everything go to do them. And we're not there for anything like collaboration. Now records that they follow we.
and the record will continue. Thank you, my brother. Shake,
no day. All right. Good evening, Ground Zero. Good evening, comrade from Ground Zero.
Hello?
Yes, hello. I beg, brother, help we. Yeah, reduce your volume for your TV. The grandpa devil, General Sumanguru himself. Your cafe. Your cafe.
I just get small message for part of Ambazonia. I want to make me other people. I want to encourage my brothers them to make a joint hands together. I want to pocket for make sure me support the account too, so that we will get more material, so that I will get more material for enter whether any angle whether Ambazonia. I be ready for enter whether any angle whether Ambazonia was sharing this order did it, so that we change this terror power in the few days ahead. And we blow it off. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That one. Now the general I be just calling name, never stay. Now the big commander that way they command the all ADF forces them for the great state of for Momo. Now General Grandpa David that General Sumanguru. Now that you don't call General Sumanguru. Awo General F and the talk. We salute you. I want to thank you, General Sumanguru. I want to thank you for all the work where you don't help we don't help General FM. For train these forces, for raise these boys, for be the warriors of all warriors than for inside Ambazonia, for be the finest forces, for defend the rights of the Ambazonian people them and protect their future. We thank you for good work. Awo! Thank you, Grandpa Devil. The last call at this. Good evening, comrade.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening for you. I know.
Yeah, no, fine, but I don't come back again. I don't call you then. I won't call you again. I get some small thing for chipping.
All right, you did now about the forces. Now about the forces. You want to talk about these forces? Then you want to talk about collaboration, or you just get a question for ask them?
No, now just about the forces. I never talk about collaboration. The man don't interpret which way I don't talk.
Okay, so go.
The kind people rely like them.
All right, go ahead. Ask your question. Go ahead. Ask your question. We get them about the forces.
Yes. See where they talk and I say, not be a question, says I just want to talk something. See where they talk and I say, see where the man they drive for talk they divert from where to where they talk. I never talk collaboration. See where they talk and I say, if all that in the way they ever happen, so if we not they talk not behind the scene, it will be very good. We not say yes. See where they do some of we they do, it not be good. No man not be perfect in life, but when something don't be wrong, we never talk and say maybe go join hand with some man. Because the collaboration, really, as you don't talk, you don't need for join with any kind of person because you don't know who way, if he kill you, but now your brother, you don't know. So the thing that say, when something won't be wrong, even if we try by any means talk for the person for back. This is the way they do them so. But even though they understand you, you leave them. If you can't expose them for public, nothing how they try for condemn them.
All right.
If you can't bring them for public, they talk. They coach the person. I go expect as this way when I do as I watch you now.
Okay.
I expect it.
Hello.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah.
Your 2 minutes. Your 2 minutes don't pass. Make a 2 minutes don't pass. Make an answer which you already talk now. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What you don't talk about, say, make we not come begin to talk for outside about. First of all, I want to ask all when I listen. When I don't ever hear me or any of the people that they work for AGOVC or ADF or any of the activists for AGOVC or ADF, whether they support AGOVC or ADF, they can't begin to kosh person, any person. Just come online, kosh when I ever hear them. So when I never ever hear them, right? The people then for AGOVC and ADF would debate now the issues Even if we come outside and we talk about, we call some person a name, we need to put that person as the subject we talk about. We make that person as a reference now for relate them to a specific discussion or something with the person talk them. We bring them for debate them, for examine them for all we, for look whether it correct or not correct. For Ambazonia. So we need to make them these things about a specific person. We examine policies and the issues. So while for talk for back when some person do something, why it be say when some person can't do something for public, for example, they can't talk for public, say an indefinite lockdown for Bamenda. They can't call them for public. They make a public statement. The information are public information. For expect we for go call that person for back, give the advice, and not can educate the public. It not serve the public. The purpose of the media now for educate the public and debate issues. Ambazonia go be in a country of debates, for debate and examine ideas and policies. We go collaborate, but the collaboration not go be on Connie. The collaboration not go be now on I be this and you dominate me. Collaboration are for create progress for the Ambazonian people them. We go collaborate on the things and way they go help we create progress. Anything we need to help we create progress. That one are politics. The governing council of Ambazonia not be interested in the Jama politics. Will be interested now for move the Ambazonian people forward, move the war of independence forward, and for shorten the pain on our people and give our people them a free homeland. So for we, collaboration get for be meaningful. It get for get a meaning. And the collaboration get for be based on projects. It get for be based on specific results we will get for achieve them. Anything will be bad for the Ambazonian people them. We go come, talk them out, condemn them, educate our people them. Wait to be good, no matter who they do them, we go come promote them. The more I not expect we should don't quiet when people that they do the things they go damage the revolution. Our goal now for be the vanguards, now for protect the integrity of the revolution, and for make sure say our people they not be deceived, regardless of who side the deception come out. Now a new generation this. Why would they move forward as one people? We got to move forward with honesty for the things that matter to the Ambazonian people. Then. As Kapoda don't talk, there will be no Connie. And any person, just as the leader don't talk, where it don't cause the death of Ambazonians, for acts of collaboration, there must be first accountability and confession. We go work with those who they be ready and willing for work for Ambazonia. But the other issues them, we're focused on ground zero. We're focused now for strengthening homeland, and for strengthening the forces, for supply the forces, for keep our people them alive. Every other thing is secondary. Politics no go stop for the revolution. You know go stop with them that not talk. You know go stop other groups that not talk, that not do it. They want to do them for whatever their own reason they be. But we, as the vanguard of the revolution, the vanguard of the people's freedom, we're going to protect that vision, that demand, that aspiration for our people then. And for mobilize as the leading movement for the liberation of Ambazonia. For mobilize other stakeholders, competent Ambazonians then, the people the way they get the true heart and they stand for the independence of Ambazonia, and for mobilize and bring all men together, all we move towards a common direction with one spirit and one team, just like General F and they do for down there. When they bring all the generals, the top generals them together for a common purpose. Just like Captain Small Picking do for Fako, bring all the brothers them together for the great work where they do for Ambazonia them. It be possible. when we put the liberation first. We put the interest and the vision, the interest of it, and we put our priorities them. When we prioritize our priorities for do the work will be needed more, for defend, for protect our people them. Now they work that. Now they talk that for today. So we encourage everybody for join this success. Make we increase them, make we multiply them, and make we stabilize the ground and also stabilize our communities and for diaspora. For unite our communities them again and make them be whole. So I'll be very open. The leader office be very open for visit with any community, for get a meeting with any community, and for get a discussion with any community on the core things them where they concern the Ambazonian people and Ambazonian the future of the Ambazonian people them. We'll be open for visit with any community and get a discussion about how they feel support for expand this force. All the contributing them for the diaspora. The leadership be very open. All the contributing them and the community meeting them and community organization. The leadership for Governing Council of Ambazonia, Dr. Abacho, be very open for any time for visit with any community organization, any community meeting, for get a discussion on what did happen on self-defense, what did happen diplomatically, and what be the successes of the Ambazonian people them. It be important make the people that be informed and make the people that know place who they, who's our need for go, what you need for do collectively as a people them for be free. Make a living out of this one. Negotiation will come. It will come. Every war, every conflict, it will end on negotiation. How we enter that negotiation table, now it will matter what we get out of that negotiation table. That's why we put a stabilization plan for ground. We understand. We need to increase them, strengthen them, for give with the teeth, for bite, for negotiation, for give with the leverage, for accept our rights under the sun, for claim, for lay our claim, and accept the sovereignty of Ambazonia, for gain the recognition within the community of states. Now the leadership this. I thank you plenty for the interaction for today. We're going forward on a weekly basis. We're going to create a whole program for interact directly with the Ambazonia them for ground zero. All right? So that all we will be on the same page, the same understanding. We'll go continue with the inspiration and the education. We're going to continue to give hope and empowerment for our people then. We're going to stay strong. We're going to stay committed and defiant and continue to defy the occupier. Our responsibility for give ourselves the freedom we need. Not be tired for secure your future. Not be tired. Say things are tough. The past, it be very frightful. There's no going back. Now, only one thing it will give the Ambazonian people them. Life, better life under the sun. The freedom of Ambazonia. Cameroun a hellfire. Ambazonia na heaven. Ambazonia a paradise. We need for secure and for our people them. When I get a good night, we love na plenty. I thank you na plenty. May God bless all man.
towards integration with Nigeria.
On January 1st, French Cameroon became the first of 17 African countries to celebrate its independence in 1960, the year that would later be called Africa's Year of Independence. In attendance at the ceremonies was the UN Secretary General Dag Hammarskjöld. Following the ceremonies on January 2nd, he chaired a stormy meeting in Buea with Foncha and Ndele on the future of southern Cameroons. He came away deciding that there should be a meeting between Foncha, Ndele, representatives of the Cameroon and Nigeria governments, and possibly the UK, to resolve the future of the Trust territory and avoid a plebiscite. Even Hammarskjöld had come to believe that a plebiscite, as it was defined, was not in the best interest of the people of southern Cameroons. Following Dag Hammarskjöld's visit to Cameroons, his UN Security Director, Heinrich Weishoff, conveyed the Secretary-General's concerns to Christopher Eastwood, the Assistant Under-Secretary of State at the United Kingdom's Colonial Office in London. When Christopher Eastwood discussed Weishoff's concerns with the UK delegation at the United Nations, UK Representative Andrew Cohen stated that the Secretary-General's proposal was unacceptable. Andrew Cohen insisted that the UN had made a definite decision on conducting a plebiscite in the Cameroons, and the UK should not be party to circumventing the UN decision. 1960 saw the emergence of new political parties and alliances in the southern Cameroons, with the majority of them advocating outright independence. Some of the new political faces included Paul Calais' Cameroon United Party, KUP, Cameroon's Commoners Congress, CCC, and Cameroon's Indigenes Party, CIP. In a January 26, 1960 petition to the UN, the KUP decried the choice of plebiscite questions, stating that they denied southern Cameroons the right to self-determination. The KUP retorted that the third option of outright independence be put on a ballot. As the new year wore on and the plebiscite date drew closer, pressure started mounting for the KNDP to define the nature of reunification with French Cameroon. And more petitions were sent to UN threatening to boycott, sabotage, or otherwise discredit the upcoming plebiscite on account of the stark choices presented. In late January 1960, Christopher Eastwood chaired a meeting at the Colonial Office at Whitehall, where a decision was made to approach the President of Republic of Cameroon, Ahidjo, to begin discussions on the form of union between Southern Cameroons and French Cameroon. Eastwood suggested that Sir Sidney Philipson be invited to negotiate on behalf of Southern Cameroons, and the Colonial Office agreed that UN participation in any negotiations with Cameroon should be avoided if possible, and that J.O. Field, Commissioner of Southern Cameroons, should be told there was no point in the UN taking part. At that meeting, Emmanuel emphasized that it was the responsibility of Her Majesty's government to make sure that there were firm and clear terms of union with both Cameroon and Nigeria. As far back as May 1958, Nigeria had already defined the outline of what southern and northern Cameroons would get if they decided to achieve independence by joining Nigeria. By February 1960, it had become evident that the Republic of Cameroon was in no position to initiate discussion on reunification. As Foncha had rightly said, reunification could only be done by those who were ripe for it. An important reason for this lack of enthusiasm was that the Republic of Cameroon had become independent without having written a constitution or having held elections, and those were tasks it had to address shortly after independence. On February 10th, March 5th, March 17, 1960, the UK ambassador to Cameroon, Patrick Johnston, approached Ahidjo to open discussions on creating terms of reunification. On all occasions, Ahidjo and his vice president, Charles Asselet, told Johnston that nothing could be done until the end of May 1960, because the Republic of Cameroon was preparing for elections slated for April 10, 1960, following which would be inaugurations in May. On April 4, 1960, Ambassador Johnston shared his impression of the situation in the Cameroons with the Colonial Office. He stated that it was clear that what Foncha wanted was independence, and that he was going to campaign on the premise that a vote for Cameroon in the upcoming plebiscite would mean a vote against joining Nigeria. Furthermore, if talks for reunification with Cameroon failed, a vote for Cameroon would simply mean independence for Southern Cameroons. Johnston's letter was forwarded on to Andrew Cohen at the UN at the request of Eastwood. In a subsequent April 1960 memo from Johnston to the Colonial Office, he asked for clarification again from the Colonial Office that if the negotiations between Ahidjo and Foncha ended up being dialogue of the deaf, wouldn't the plebiscite questions have to be changed to union with Nigeria or independence? Johnston advised the Colonial Office that his earliest estimate of a time frame for earnest talks on reunification were June 1960. On behalf of the Colonial Office, Robert Boothby wrote back to Johnston resolutely rejecting the idea of an independent Southern Cameroons on the basis that the territory was poor. He went on to say that an independent Southern Cameroons could become a financial embarrassment to the UK, and signed off by stating that the sooner we can wash our hands off Southern Cameroons, the more pleased we shall be. And so it was that after failing to nudge Southern Cameroons into a union with Nigeria prior to 1959, having fabricated the myth that the territory was poor, the Colonial Office was directing its ambassador to Cameroon to cease and desist all objective analyses in the matter of Southern Cameroons. In May 1960, the UN Trusteeship Council passed a resolution requiring the UK to define with clarity the constitutional agreements and guarantees that would come with each of the plebiscite choices of joining Nigeria or Cameroon. On June 4 and June 9, 1960, the ambassador again reached out to Ahidjo and was finally told that Ahidjo would welcome a visit to Southern Cameroons in July 1960 to initiate discussions on the terms for reunification. In June 1960, Andrew Cohen wrote 2 confidential memos to the Colonial Office in London, stating that the UK must use its influence at the UN and in negotiations between Southern Cameroons and the Republic of Cameroon to rule out what was now being referred to as the third question, the independence of Southern Cameroons. He went as far as to say that the UK could make a public statement on behalf of the UN, but without its consent, stating that the UN would not welcome renegotiations of the plebiscite questions, as was being discussed in the Southern Cameroons House of Assembly, to dissuade Foncha, who was planning to return to the UN. From July 15th to the 17th, 1960, Ahidjo made his first official state visit to Southern Cameroons. As much as they tried, Ambassador Johnston and Southern Cameroons Commissioner J.O. Field failed to keep the visit from turning political. To their embarrassment and that of Ndele and the government of Nigeria,